Mnakwethu is a reality show hosted by Mnkwethu, and Mnakwethu is an emotional and empowering reality show that gives married men a chance to overpower the fear of introducing polygamy to his current wife or wives. So you guys, as you know, here in Africa mostly, especially the Zulu men, they really consider this a polygamous marriage, and in so doing they fear their first wives in introducing the next, second, or the other sister wives. Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for tuning into the video. If you are new here, definitely welcome. Do the right thing by clicking on that red subscription button down below. It's absolutely free. So Mnakwethu is back again with season 3, and in this video we'll be looking at season 3 episode 2. So in season 3 episode 2, it was one of the men that wants to introduce a second wife is Siphiwe Masuku, who has a beautiful fiance who she is Sibongile. She seems to be a humble person when you watch her from the show. So Sibongile has an ancestral calling, so they say, hence one of the reasons Masuku wants a second wife. He allegedly went on to say because they claim there are times where allegedly her calling sometimes makes her distance from him. Hence he ended up meeting Nosipho, whom she is or proposed second wife. But I like it that his honesty that he has told Nosipho that he has a second wife from the onset when they met, and Nosipho has went on to accept that fact. As for Nosipho, she looks genuine and understanding also, though she also disagrees that Siphiwe should take a third wife. So we'll see about that. When they go to the house to say their request or ask their request, Siphiwe was accompanied by Mnkwethu to the first wife, who is Sibongile, or the fiance, as he said. The moment Sibongile saw Mr. Mnkwethu, her facial impression said it all, guys. She really was upset to an extent that she was tearing up. Looking at the fact that Mr. Mnkwethu's face is familiar, especially in South Africa, and if you see your husband really showing up with him, you kind of have an idea on why he is there. When you see him at your home, really you get to know that something is up. So when they got there, Sibongile's mood changed gradually, and that's really understandable. You already know what's coming in that state. So Musa laid his case to Sibongile, or rather Masuku laid his case to Sibongile, very humble as he was, Sibongile understandable. So she left in tears, really. She broke down and left the room in tears after Masuku has told her that he wants to take a second wife. That's really understandable. So a very emotional scene, one may say, but they went on and really tried to calm her down, and she was able to go back to the house and listen to what they had to say. But Sibongile stood up she stood adamant that she does not want to be in a polygamous marriage whatsoever. Hence, she does not allow her husband to take a second wife. She then asked Mr. Masuku to buy her a car before accepting on the request. So her ultimatum was, it's either you buy me a car, then I accept this second wife, but if you don't, that means I do not accept this request. Then they brought Nosipho in, and rather before that, Sibongile, because she has an ancestral calling, she went on to request her husband Siphiwe and requested him to pay a fine as a sign of cleansing Makumalo. And she further tells him that she has one condition before she can grant him his request, which I have said that she requested him to buy her a car before she can accept this second wife. Then in so doing, Mr. Musamseleko went outside to bring in Nosipho, who is the proposed second wife, and told her all Sibongile's request before agreeing. So Sibongile, in a nutshell, asked Masuku to choose her or Nosipho because he can't get them both. Really, it was hard for Sibongile to accept the fact that her husband Siphiwe wants to have a second wife, and also the fact that if your husband comes to request for a second wife, that means he had been dating someone outside while still in the marriage, and sometimes it comes as a heartbreak, or even feel like you are being he wasn't faithful to that marriage. You might feel that way, that your husband might not be faithful to your marriage, and even to feel to an extent of being betrayed somehow. Your honesty and your trust really feels broken. But that's the show in a nutshell, guys, and that's what it really does. It comes in to introduce, or rather, Mr. Musam Seluku helps husbands who want to introduce polygamy to their current wives, and this is what has gone on episode 2 so far. So you guys, you have it. If you want to watch episode 1, I'll do leave it in the link description, or rather in the description box down below, and even link it up here. It's in my channel. You can go watch it. As from me right now, guys, that was the review I have for season 3 episode 2 of Mnakwethu.